Today we're doing keto and carnivore cheesecakes in a way you've never seen before. Make sure to stick around because these things are great. So we're doing a keto and a carnivore take on the Spanish classic Basque Cheesecake today. And if you don't know what a Basque Cheesecake is, it translates to something along the lines of burnt cheesecake. And it's a cheesecake that's cooked at a much higher temperature and has this caramelized, burnt look on the outside. And it actually has multiple textures because of the way it's cooked. I figured out how to do a keto version, and we're gonna do a savory carnivore version, and I'm gonna have somebody real special to taste test for you. Let's go ahead and let's make a keto and then a carnivore Basque cheesecake. So the key for this recipe to work, not only the ingredients and all of the measurements and the ratios, but it's also that all of your ingredients are at room temperature. So everything I'm using has been sitting out, coming up to room temperature for the last few hours. We're also going to mix everything on low speed. Whether you use a stand mixer or a hand mixer or any other method of doing this, you could even use a whisk and do this by hand. You want to avoid whipping too much air into this mixture because that's going to give it that nice decadent cheesecake texture. Everything is going to be mixed on low. Everything is at room temperature. Let's go ahead and make the keto version first. Along with 32 ounces of cream cheese, I'm gonna be using 4 ounces of goat cheese for a total of 36 ounces of the cheese in this mixture. If you don't have goat cheese or if you don't want to use goat cheese, you can substitute it with more cream cheese. I'm gonna add 2 cups of allulose. Now, you might be able to use another keto sweetener. I have not tried. However, allulose browns and it does react very much like regular sugar would, so you're not probably gonna get the same reaction out of any of the other keto sweeteners, but if you like it and you wanna try it, feel free. I'm gonna use the paddle attachment to cream together the cream cheese and the allulose and the goat cheese, and this is all gonna be done on low speed. Resist the temptation to turn up the speed. Once this is a completely homogeneous mixture, we can continue with the next ingredient. Next, I'm gonna add in 5 eggs. I'm gonna add them one at a time, and I want the egg to completely combine with the cream cheese and allulose mixture before adding the next one. So 5 eggs, one at a time. This is 3/4 of a cup of egg white powder and a tablespoon of beef gelatin. Any unflavored gelatin will work. I'm gonna put this in slowly while the mixer is running on low, and I'm actually gonna sift it in so that we don't get any lumps and so that it can incorporate very slowly to make sure we don't get any chunks of egg white powder. Next, I'm going to drizzle in a 1/2 cup of heavy cream while the mixture is running on low. The thing that makes this so easy is we don't need any kind of a water bath to bake this. We're gonna use a 9-inch springform pan. I'm gonna put a link down below to a set of springform pans I have, and we're gonna line it with parchment paper. So all we need to do is crumble it up and line it. Then we're just gonna fill up our pan. I'm just gonna trim up the edges of the parchment so that it's easier to get in and out of the oven. I'm gonna put this on a cookie sheet just in case there's any spillage to keep my oven nice and clean. We're gonna put this in a 475 Fahrenheit oven, 40 minutes. 20 minutes in, we're gonna turn the cheesecake around 180 degrees to make sure it bakes evenly. While that cheesecake is baking, I'm gonna mix up the exact same ingredients, except I'm not gonna use the allulose, and I'm gonna show you guys some additional ingredients we can add and a different way of baking the cheesecake in case you don't have a springform pan, and we're gonna do the savory carnivore cheesecake. Along with the cream cheese, I'm gonna add 8 ounces cheddar cheese. This is a mild cheddar. You could use any kind of shredded cheese that you wanted. And then we're gonna add the eggs in the same as we did before. Seasonings are totally up to you. I'm gonna use a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of white pepper, and a teaspoon of dried thyme. I have 3/4 of a pound of bacon that I have fried, and I did not get it too crispy because I want it to be kind of soft, because a cheesecake is generally gonna have a softer texture. Fry it however you want. You could use any kind of meat that you want. You could use ham or chicken or something else, whatever you like, sausage, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna use most of this now. I'm gonna save a little bit of it and sprinkle it over the top right before it goes into the oven. I'm just gonna add eggs one at a time, 5 just like before. After adding the cream, the last thing I'm gonna add before the egg white powder and the gelatin is some chives. Make sure to taste for seasoning. Mine needs a couple of large pinches of salt. Now that that's out of the oven, we're gonna let it cool for a couple of hours. Overnight in the refrigerator is even better. We slice it, and then we make sure it comes to room temperature if it's been refrigerated, and it's time to serve it. Let's finish up that savory one. So if you don't have a springform pan, this is another method of doing it. I don't think it turns out quite as good, but it is still pretty tasty. We're gonna do this in a brownie pan. You can do this in really any size pan, but I have a 9x9. So I'm just gonna take the bacon grease from cooking those bacon pieces, and I'm going to pour a little bit of that in there so that we can grease this brownie pan. And just pour out the extra back into the pan. And now I have some grated Parmesan cheese that I'm going to dump in there, and we're gonna use that to coat the inside of our brownie pan. Now our cheesecake mixture goes into our brownie pan. Now we're gonna bake this at 425 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. Probably going to be more than 35 minutes, but we'll sort of check that as we get there. We're going to turn this halfway through the exact same way as we did the other one. All right, y'all, we've got the savory carnivore and the sweet keto Basque cheesecakes cooked with 2 different methods. And who better to taste my cheesecakes here but my buddy Scotty? It's been a while since we've had him on a video.
I'm happy to be back.
Yes, yes. I asked him if he'd come taste test, and he was like, cheesecake? I'll be there. When?
Well, you know, I can't stop smiling.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks so good.
Yeah. So we're going to let him taste test. We're going to see what he thinks. So.
I'm just going to dig in. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to do this.
There you go. Just go for it.
That is savory. It's got texture to it, but it still tastes cheesecakey.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's got bacon or some kind of flavor in there, because that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, and that sauce is some of the leftover of the mozzarella mousse that we made with the ravioli, which you guys, if you have not seen, I'll link down below for you.
See, that's almost like not a dessert. That's almost like your main course.
Yes.
It's that savory. It's not meaty, but it has that meaty flavor.
Yeah.
I love it.
Super good.
Well, that's cool. I've never had a savory cheesecake.
There you guys go. For all the carnivores out there, have yourself a savory cheesecake.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
Great. I know you're looking forward to this
one. Can I try this one now?
Yeah, you can go for this one.
Okay, I do want to try this too.
I know you're real excited.
See, now that's dessert. That's dinner. That's dessert.
That's right.
That's really, really, really good. Yeah, I can't choose between the 2. I like them both equally.
Well, there you go. And Scotty does not eat like a keto or a carnivore diet or anything like that. He's a standard American diet guy, so. I
mean, if I was to get this in a restaurant, I mean, I would think that it's just a regular cheesecake. And this would be like a super special order cheesecake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have another bite of this.
Well, while Scotty is enjoying all of the cheesecakes, I will tell you guys that these are a lot of fun to make. You saw how simple this recipe really is. As long as you have a good sized bowl and a good hand mixer or maybe a stand mixer like I do, you can very easily give somebody a smile on their face just by doing this. This is a lot of fun. And if you don't have those springform pans, you can do this in the brownie pan. Doesn't turn out, in my opinion, quite as good, but it is really close and it's absolutely fantastic, especially for the savory one like that, to be able to cut that in wedges and give that to people.
This is so different.
It's so different.
I love it.
It's completely different, and you can have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you want. So there we go. That is the keto and the carnivore versions of Basque cheesecake. I hope you guys go give this recipe a try. Make the sweet one, make the savory one. You can customize them however you want. You can add things to the top. It's just a lot of fun.
If you want to invite me over to taste test them, I will.
Scotty is happy to come taste test anytime you guys want. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Cook in Nashville, my buddy Scotty. We appreciate you guys being here. Eat your meat, especially when it looks like cheesecake.
Yum.
Love your life, and we're going to see you in the kitchen for a bunch more recipes. And in the meantime, go check out this recipe right over here.
Look, I'm already making a mess.
Well, that's all right.
I know I'm making a mess, but it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's got a little. It's not. I love it.